What's going on, everybody? Thumbs up if you can see me and hear me. What's up, Mike Cruz? What's up, Hans? We got Claude in the house. We got Robert Lemp. We got Byrne. We got Tyler. Carl, nice to see you. Susan Bowes, we appreciate you. We got Jessica here. What's up, Carl Traffy? Nice to see you. Joe Lilly, Pamela. I'm looking for somebody wearing a tie. Nobody's wearing a tie on a Friday afternoon. At least it is in England, but that's all right. I'll let you slide. If I see your beautiful face, hi, Sylvie. Hi, Ray. Hi, Travis. I'll let it go. But if I can't see the whites of your eyes, I'm throwing you out of this call. Martini knows I'm getting older. I'm getting grumpier. And when you get to me my age, you just don't care anymore. So I'm throwing you out if your camera's not on. Petya just joined us. Petya, wave to everybody. Petya is a graduate of our Crypto and DeFi Academy, our Kings of DeFi, our investment club. And she just invested in probably the hottest deal of the year. Right, Petya? Is this thing hot or what? Yeah, it's all kicking off in crypto with us. We appreciate you being here. How many people think Bitcoin's going to 300,000? Raise your hand if you think it's only a matter of time before it gets up there. That's it? Only a couple people? I'm not saying this year. David does. Good to see you, David. We will get you in on this deal. I promise we will make that happen with your stable coins. Look, I normally don't quote these big lavish predictions. But when a guy like Mark Yusko says it, from Morgan Creek Capital that I've had on the show, when he comes out and it's published yesterday that he sees it happening, when he talks about the halvening, when he talks about the total market cap of gold, I listen. And I'm going to play some video from Mark that, by the way, wasn't shared with the mainstream media, and you can be the judge yourself. But I have Mark Yusko, I have Dan Tapiero on my show, and I've got Dan Moorhead of Pantera Capital. These guys all manage billions of dollars. They're all super positive on crypto. A lot of them were actually working with me back on Wall Street back in the 90s. And Julian's going to go hit the gong over here because somebody just joined our Crypto Academy just now. And Julian hits the gong when that happens. So thank you, Julian. Don't mind that. We have a little rituals over here in London. Maybe it's a gong thing. Do we like the gong? Hands up if you like the gong. Yeah. If you ever get the privilege to come to London, you can hit the gong. The guests hit the gong. Everybody but one guest wouldn't hit the gong. He thought it was, he's like, is this a cult or something? I was like, no, definitely not. No. So we hit the gong when it happens. But what was I saying? Those three fund managers, when they talk, people listen because they came from a Wall Street background. They came from a macro trading. Does everybody know what macro trading is? Raise your hand if you know what macro means as far as that. Some of you do. It means they look, you know, some traders look at the stock market. Some traders look at the bond market. Some traders look at commodities or currencies. A macro guy or woman will look at everything around the world and they'll say, okay, what's happening with the world? They'll look at all the countries. They'll look at various rates of inflation, interest rates, and then they take a big look at the picture and they say, this is where it's going. All right. Those are the people I like to have on my show because when they look at crypto, they say, wait a second, this isn't a scam. This isn't fake money. This isn't for drug dealers. This is something that's not going anywhere. And it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's currently about a $1.4 trillion market. That's all of crypto and the equity of the crypto companies surrounding it. And one of my guests, Dan Tapiero, thinks that's going to 10 trillion. And Mark Yusko thinks it's going up as well. And he believes that even Bitcoin could be 100,000 around April of next year. How many people think that could happen? Raise your hand if you think that could happen. Remember, the Bitcoin halvening is coming up. And again, we historically, 6 months before the halvening, up to 3 months after the halvening, there's a rally. It's happened every single time in the last 4-year cycles. So look, stranger things could happen. In the next bull run, we're definitely going to break through our last high of 69,000. And when it does, it's going to be massive. Bitcoin will be back to $1 billion and there'll be a lot of things going on. So it's going to be exciting stuff. Sorry, $1 trillion market cap of just Bitcoin. So today I want to share with you some never seen before video footage of me having intimate conversations with some of the smartest folks in crypto. I want to talk about Mark Yusko's recent predictions. I want to talk to you about what's going on behind the scenes in the market when it comes to ETFs. And we are really excited about crypto. A lot of people don't know it, but Martini and I have been teaching over 1,000 students in our Crypto and DeFi Academy since, when was that, Martini? June 21. And we've continued through this entire crypto winter. And we are more excited than ever. Also, this year through London Real Ventures, and I'll show you later, we are putting millions and millions of dollars of capital into the companies that we know when the bull run hits, they're going to be worth billions and billions of dollars. And so we have a lot of experience doing this, and we're also investing with some of the biggest players out there. So we get to see some things that sometimes you don't see. And again, don't trust Bitcoin price action. Just because Bitcoin's going like this in price doesn't mean that under the surface, there's not massive amounts of activity. Does that make sense to everybody here? Just hands up if it does. Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to jump in here. Last chance to turn cameras on. John Fife. I'm sure you're a nice guy, John. I'm sure you got some good excuse like your camera's broken. But guess what? It doesn't matter because you're gone. All right. I like that too much, right, Martini? All right. Dixie House. I don't know if that's your real name, but I'm going to chuck you as well. And I'll just say, if anybody else, turn those cameras on because we like to see some faces. If you have any comments or questions, stick them in the chat and I'll take a look at them as we go and I'll try to comment. But lock in right now. Pay attention because what I'm telling you right now literally could make you a lot of money. All right. Everybody ready? Okay. Let's do this, folks. Here we go. Booyah. Just cooked this thing up this morning. All right. Can everybody see this picture here with Mark Yusko on the left and me on the right? Okay, cool. Whoa. There we go. So this is Mark Yusko, legendary trader who runs Morgan Creek Capital, multi-billion-dollar asset portfolio. And he recently said yesterday, Bitcoin is going to $300,000 and the total crypto market cap to $6 trillion. Like I said, current crypto market cap about 1.4 trillion. And Bitcoin, as we know, is 1/10 of this, right? It's about 29.3 right now. So that's a big prediction. And it's not something that Mark does very often. So it got my attention. And I want to walk through the basics of why he said it, and then what we are doing behind the scenes and how you can profit on what we think is going to be a massive bull run in this space over the next few years. And over the next 10 years, it's going to be completely redefining finance and even how we communicate with each other. So let's look at it. First, just want to say this video is purely for informational purposes. It's not intended to be investment advice. If you want investment advice, go find a professional. But right now, I'm going to be talking about my ideas. Is that cool with everybody and clear? All right, good. Let's jump into this. So this is Mark in an article he came out with yesterday. And let's look at exactly what he said. He said the monetary value of gold is about $6 trillion. That's all the gold in the world is worth about $6 trillion. He says, I think Bitcoin can replace all of that. That's the monetary equivalent of $6 trillion, which is about a 10x from here, okay? Which gives us, because Bitcoin's currently about a $600 billion market cap, just Bitcoin, which gives us a price of about $300,000 per Bitcoin. All right, there's a recent article with CoinDesk. Then he goes on further by talking about why he thinks so. Every Bitcoin halving, we've added a zero. And by next April, he thinks we could go to 100,000. So the halving itself, he thinks we'll kick it to 300,000. But by next April, which I think is right when the halving is happening, it's going to 100,000, which of course will be 50% more than its all-time high, which was around 69,000. I remember it was like October 21st of 21 because I was doing my 10-year anniversary show at London Real. Bitcoin was hitting its high. Alex from Swissborg was interviewing me. They're massive crypto heads. And I remember us like kind of laughing and celebrating. And then of course it went down. So this is what we know from Mark. I think it's really important and really worth talking about today because crypto has been sitting there. But like I said, so much building has been going on. I think we've had almost all of the bad news that we've seen. It's come back and rallied from say 15, 16,000. The regulation looks like it's going to be clear. Obviously, Bitcoin doesn't have any regulation hurdles, and this thing is waiting to pop. And I'm going to show you a couple other reasons why I think it is. By the way, how many people think Bitcoin is going to start moving up and up in a significant way over the next 6 months? Just hands up if you do. Okay, so some people here. All right. Okay, good. All right, let's talk about it. Here's some other evidence. BlackRock not only filed for their Bitcoin ETF, but they refiled for that Bitcoin ETF after they got some feedback from the SEC. And that shows a very motivated force from the greatest and the biggest, fund manager and portfolio holder and asset holder in the world. All right, that's BlackRock. And when they want something done, at some point, the SEC is going to have to let it happen. If you get enough people that want it, they have to do it. Also, we have an election year next year, and I am confident if we have a new president, we will definitely have a new SEC chair. There's even people in Congress right now trying to remove Gary Gensler. And I'm really unimpressed with Gary. Gary taught a course at MIT, not when I was there, but later. And when he taught that course in 2018, he was very pro-crypto. But when he got into the SEC, he became like a politician. And he started acting in a way that just doesn't make sense because he knows better. He knows this is great technology. So it's been frustrating to watch, but it won't last forever. What else have we seen? A new wave is coming. All right. So a major bank reveals a $15 trillion earthquake could be headed for the Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Dogecoin, and Polygon ecosystem. Imagine pumping $15 trillion into a $1 trillion marketplace. Now, I don't know if anybody took economics here, but what does that do to the price? Does it make it go up or does it make it go down? Anyone want to guess? Come on, Claude, you know what's up, right? Okay, yeah, exactly. If you pump that much cash into an asset class, the price only goes one way. And this is what everyone's predicting, that all this money is coming in here. Now, the great accumulation of Bitcoin begins, okay? Obviously, BlackRock is talking about it. Deutsche Bank, other industry giants are going to bring trillions to the market. This is the thinking. Listen to me carefully. You've got massive sovereign wealth funds in the world, all right? Now, if you could just take a peek inside the sovereign wealth funds of, say, Saudi Arabia, the sovereign wealth funds of, say, Qatar, if you could just peek into some of those funds, you would see so much money it's not even funny. Now, Bitcoin and crypto is an uncorrelated asset. Now, when you're on Wall Street, the easiest way to make money is to invest in uncorrelated assets. Does this make sense to anybody? Just raise hand if that makes a little bit of sense, right? So what you want to do is you put some of your money in stocks, some in bonds, some in commodities. And if you can find another asset class that doesn't correlate, over time, you make money. And Bitcoin is that asset class. So if you put 1 to 4% of your portfolio, by the way, which is what the fund managers want to put into Bitcoin, it's a tiny amount, 1%, right? But if you take all the wealth in the world, it adds up to a lot of money. And that's where they're coming up with that figure of 15 trillion. As soon as you get Qatari wealth funds, as soon as you get a Saudi fund, as soon as you get some of these massive entities to get the approval to be able to invest in Bitcoin, and they can do that via an ETF, you have no idea how much money is going to be pumped in this ecosystem. Does that make sense to everybody here? Just thumbs up if it does. And it's only a matter of time. And Bitcoin, again, Bitcoin is considered digital gold. It's the biggest market cap. It's, by the way, it's never been offline in 13 years. It has never broken. And it's been attacked by, we know, every terrorist organization in the world has attacked it, right? I'm sure, all the crazy ones. I'm sure Al-Qaeda attacked it back in the day. I'm sure the FSB attacked it. I'm sure even the greatest terrorist organization in the world, the CIA, also tried to attack it as well. But still, never took it offline, right? Tyler, you like my joke there? Or is it a joke? Okay. So the thing is it's there. And also, that's the one crypto that Gary Gensler of the SEC has given a pass. He said, look, this is not a security. Have fun. Okay. Michael Saylor, who I've had on the show, has got like $5 billion of Bitcoin on his publicly traded company balance sheet. It's good. So this money is just waiting to go in there. When it does, Bitcoin could easily go to 100 grand and beyond. Everybody with me on this? Okay, good. So just to finish this out, you see this guy on the right. His name is Larry Fink. Has anyone ever heard of this guy, Larry Fink? He was the BlackRock CEO, but apparently he's been promoted to the chief marketing officer for Bitcoin. Because lately, if you see him on the TV, that's all he's talking about, right? It's digital gold as well. By the way, these guys, this is the same group of guys that 2 years ago was calling it rat poison, right? Raise your hand if that's pretty interesting, right? Kind of interesting, right? By the way, Mark Yusko has a little theory about that. I'll see if you can catch it. So this is all happening, folks. And one day we're going to wake up and Bitcoin's going to go up and everyone's going to say, oh yeah, we knew that was going to happen. Well, it hasn't happened yet. So you can still position yourself if you believe this is going to happen. So going back to Mark Yusko, I want to play for you a video of Mark when he shared some time with me here in the studio. And again, we think that he's extremely prescient when it comes to this. He's got some amazing ideas. And also Mark has a theory about FTX, about traditional financing, and why those things happen to set up now traditional finance ready to come into crypto. So listen to what Mark said. He's one of my favorites on London Real.
This idea that it's just Bitcoin, just Ethereum, no, it's the technological evolution, not revolution. What blockchain will do to financial services is what the internet did to media and commerce. But it doesn't just transfer market cap, it expands. Blockchain busts the monopoly of finance, and they make lots of money being the trusted third parties between the exchange of value. What blockchain technology does is it goes from dual entry accounting to triple entry accounting. Now you have a ledger, I have a ledger, but there's this third ledger that exists in an encrypted form permanently, immutably. We're replacing trust with truth. This fundamentally changes how humanity interacts. Why? Well, because people are realizing that when you put your money in the bank, it's no longer your money. Well, with blockchain, we don't need that. So it allows us to break the shackles. Humanity moves forward because of human creativity, human ingenuity, innovation.
You mentioned FTX. What do you think actually happened?
I don't believe Sam Bankman-Fried and Caroline were the masterminds of anything. And I think there is a much higher power that masterminded the whole thing to disparage crypto, to slow down the adoption.
You're excited. You think there's great opportunities in this market, and you're just looking forward to the next 10 years, knowing that this will all happen. It's just about how it happens.
I am incredibly optimistic. It's just so inspiring to be around people who are looking forward, who are looking for solutions and innovations. What I actually love to do is seek people with opposite views, to have dialogue and debate in search of truth. And now the problem is you're not allowed to talk to people. Left can't talk to right, up can't talk to down. No, that's what you need to do. Talk to listen and learn and discern. You may still believe what you believe, and you may believe it more, but occasionally you might change your mind.
All right, what do we think of Mark Yusko? We feeling this guy? Come on. I mean, seriously, for one of these multi-billion-dollar hedge fund guys, you wouldn't expect him to speak the truth, right? I mean, when he started talking that stuff about FTX, I was like, whoa, because, that was kind of like a side narrative. But to come out and say, wait a second, it's a bit convenient with the timing that they take the fall, that basically all of the crypto institutions go bankrupt or get thrown out of America. And guess what happens? Now, JP Morgan and BlackRock, they're feeling great about crypto and they want to get into it. Does anybody find that timing a little strange here? Right? Okay. And to have a guy like Yusko say it, it really opens it up, not some, weird conspiracy nut. Not that I know any of those, right? So I'm glad that Mark mentioned that. And so it just makes me open up. This is the same guy that said yesterday to CoinDesk that Bitcoin could be 100,000 by April because of the halving. And if you look at it compared to gold, it could be the 300,000. Adding a zero is what he talked about. So again, I take my information and advice from people that I trust, that I find credible, and he's one of those voices. So it's important to pay attention. The halving is really coming up. It's with us quite soon now. So now is the time to really keep your eye on this. And again, when it moves, it moves. So you're going to see the next Bitcoin move to the upside. I think it's going to blast up to like 35 or something. And then from there, it could easily go to 40. And then afterwards, everyone's going to say, oh yeah, well, I knew that was going to happen. But those are the same people that didn't take any action. All right. So now I'm saying to all of you, we are preparing behind the scenes here at London Real through our academies and through our adventures. We are preparing right now for that move. And when it makes it, we're going to make a lot of money. And so I would argue that right now is where you want to educate yourself. Make sure you understand this space. Make sure you understand decentralized finance. Make sure you understand all aspects of this space. That doesn't mean I own some Ripple and own some Bitcoin. That's not enough. You really need to understand all the dynamics, your security from your hot wallets to your cold wallets, DeFi protocols. You need to understand a lot of different instruments, metaverse tokens, layer one solutions, different types of stable coins. How many people here feel pretty comfortable with those kind of terms here? Can I just see a show of hands? Okay, a few. Okay, cool. How many people would like to know that stuff? Okay, look, this is the future. That's the thing. This is the future of finance. And unless you want some financial institution running your money, and by the way, I worked in banking for 15 years. The banks steal your money. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. They all steal your money and you don't know they're doing it. The banking sector takes away 6 to 8% of global GDP every single year, right? And yet they're so clever. I've seen it. I worked for these banks. They're so clever. You don't even know it's happening, right? Right, Mike? Right, Tyler? Right, Anita? You say, oh, there's no fees, no fees. Yeah, they tell you there's no fees on one hand, and then when you're not looking, they take everything out of your pocket. Same with the people that run your money. Same with your pension fund manager. They kill you with their fees, and they just survive. And at the end, you get to be the whatever age, and they're like, oh, sorry, inflation, sorry, right? So you have to take ownership of your money, and you actually have to educate yourself, because your schools didn't teach you about money. Wall Street doesn't want you to know this stuff. Wall Street doesn't want you to use crypto, because then you own your own money, and then it can't be printed and messed with by the Fed. So like the ball is in your court. This is your chance now. We've been doing this for 2 years. Like I said, we've graduated over 1,000 students in over 100 countries. Martini, I think our youngest kid was that 15-year-old high school kid from Mexico, I think, who was living in the US. He crushed it. It was like an 87-year-old grandma, and everybody in between. My daughter has stable coins. My mom at 77 has stable coins. All right. They know what's up, because this is the way it works, folks. We just did a deal yesterday. Petya is involved. We funded it $225,000. We raised $200,000 in 24 hours from our team, and everybody put it in via stable coins on crypto. They all had to put it in by plugging hot wallets in. You have to know a little bit about decentralized finance. My whole crew did it because they had gone through the training. If they didn't have the training, they wouldn't even know what's going on. But we were able to fund a deal like that. The token's going to be issued literally in the next 60 days. And it's one of the hottest projects on the planet. But unless you had educated yourself in the last few months, you wouldn't even know what to do here. So you've got to educate yourself now in these quote unquote bear markets. That's when you got to invest in this, is what I would say. So let me keep going and show you a few more thoughts here, because I've got a few more while we're at this when it comes to Bitcoin. You know, I'm blessed to have the greatest voices in the world on my show, because I got 5 million subscribers. So it's not like they like me. Maybe they like me, but they also like the reach we can give them on this show. So they come and they talk to me, and they drop a lot of knowledge that I can share with you. So, oh, by the way, my takeaways from Mark are simple. Crypto is technological evolution, is what he said. It's evolution. It's not revolution. It's evolution. It's where finance should go at this point, okay? He believes that Bitcoin busts the monopoly of finance. Does that make sense to everybody here? It busts the monopoly. Monopolies don't like being busted. That's why whenever you try to buy crypto, you get a text message from your bank that says, I'm sorry, because we're worried about your money, we're going to restrict your transaction to $100. Who's gotten that before? Has anyone been restricted by your bank to even buy crypto, right? They won't even let you do it, right? Because they're worried about your money, right, Cloud? Martini, I got a text message from NatWest on my phone a little while ago, right? And they sent me a text and they said, Brian, we're really concerned about your money. We noticed that you tried to buy some crypto in an exchange, and we blocked the transaction because we're worried about your money. And I thought, wow, I've been a customer since 1997. You never once were worried about my money before that, let alone text me. Oh my gosh, you're so concerned about my money. You're going to text me and stop me from transacting in crypto. Does that sound right to anybody here? No, they don't want me to see the promised land. All right. And so we want to bust the monopoly on finance. Finally, Mark says that crypto replaces trust with truth. That is crucial. I don't want to have to trust an institution. Why not just give me truth? Truth. That's what crypto gives me. It's a trustless system, right? And that's the beautiful thing about it. So look, that's him. I want to share with you a couple of the voices that I think are really important. And today, just want to talk about these things I have been talking about. Bitcoin going above 300,000, how it's going to surpass. And then I want to show you how you can trade and profit and invest in this entire ecosystem. But you've got to get your education now. By the way, we are currently investing over $3 million right now in it's 4 now, crypto, AI, blockchain, and metaverse deals this quarter. Our current one is it's mind-blowingly hot. We did an emergency investor call a couple of days ago. It's almost fully funded at this point, and we're really excited about it. So that's happening. We do it all through this. This is London Real Ventures. This is the world's first media-powered investment firm. I basically take my YouTube channel, which is 12 years old, 1 billion views, and all the 1,000 people of influence that I've connected with over that time, and I plug in an investment vehicle into it, and we have something the world has never seen. It's a way where if a company comes to us, we can write them a check. I can put the CEO in the leather chair. I can introduce them to potentially 5 million customers. I can introduce them to fund managers, to technical people, to huge influencers in finance. And it means that right now we are seeing the hottest deals in the world. Does that make sense to everybody here? Just kind of how that works? Yeah. It's really new. No one's doing this. I think we have a 12-month advantage until somebody else tries to copy this. But right now we are in the driver's seat. And anyone like Petya here can tell you we are seeing literally the juiciest, like most, it's like mouth-watering deals you've ever seen with the most talented folks in the world. And they're coming to us and pitching us their deal. And we'll put $500,000 into this latest deal. So these are some of the companies we've invested in. And this is our mission here at London Real. We are here to create a mass scale transformation of humanity into a fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. In my opinion, that means someone who has financial freedom. Does that make sense to everybody here? Just put your hands up. Does that make sense? You must have financial freedom if you want freedom of speech, if you want to empower yourself, if you want choice, if you want to be cooperative and conscious. So, I mean, honestly, crypto is in our blood. It's who we are. We spent the last 12 years democratizing information. Now we're democratizing finance. And so this fully aligns with what we're doing here, and we love it. But quite honestly, there's more of the reasons that I do this. I actually have another why, and that's these two young men, Caden and Damon. They were actually here in the office this morning. They have Bitcoin wallets on each one of their computers, and they just got $20 in Bitcoin the other day because they were getting their money and they were getting this fiat money at home. They have pounds for doing their chores. And I think some of their money went missing one day, and they were like looking for it. And I was like, you know what? If you don't want your money to go missing from your little piggy bank or from the central bank, you need the Bitcoin. And so they started asking me questions, and now they have Bitcoin. So I'm giving them an early education here. Caden's 7, Damon's about to turn 6, and they're starting to learn about what these things are. So I got a real reason for doing this. This will be like 4 generations of doing this, because like my stepdaughter has it, my mom has it. Like, we're really trying to educate people. And this is what I do because it's important. So this is what we're doing here, folks. This is why we can speak on this with authority. And I want to share with you some more information tonight. So this is our philosophy, by the way. I stole this from Sun Tzu, from his book called The Art of War. And he says this: every battle is won before it's ever fought. And I want you just to meditate on that. Every battle is won before it's ever fought. Now, what does that mean? You know, a lot of us go into battle and we just hope for the best. We hope we're going to be prepared. We hope our government will save us. You know, that didn't work out so well the last few years. I believe in being prepared. If I'm prepared well enough, I've already won the battle before it's fought. And so we are so prepared right now because of the last 2 years that we know we are going to win this. The next 2 years, with the way the market's going to go, we've already won. We really already have won. It's just about how many zeros are going to be on the end of that big fat check. That's what we're doing here. And so we are working. We're in the trenches. We're quietly working and building. I always say you work on 3 things when things are quiet: your education, your influence, and your early stage investments. That's what we do every single day. We don't make a big deal out of it. Bitcoin maybe sits there and looks like it's going flat, but we are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And when it pops, we're going to be prepared to take advantage of that price increase. Does that make sense to everybody here as far as our philosophy? So again, everybody around us, we're like these busy bees. We're like just jamming every single day. And that's why I'm here with you. This is a Friday night here in London. Martini has been working hard all week. This is our 3rd live masterclass. This is my 2nd live episode we did today. We did crazy stuff this week, right? But for us, this is the time to do it. And we want as many people alongside of us to come in for the big win. That's what we're looking for. The right people to be part of our network. It's like an army we're building. They're just going to crush it. And I want to make money for our London Real family. Like the people that have supported us and watched our shows and been a part of what we've been doing for the last 10 years. Those are the people we want to go to the finish line. And so that's the philosophy here. This is Saifedean Ammous, okay? He's an economist and author. He's the author of a recent book called The Bitcoin Standard. He was recently appointed by the president of El Salvador to be their economics minister. And we all know that El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender, right? Raise your hand if you know that. It's pretty amazing, right? It's this country in Central America. They also hired my old friend Max Kaiser and his wife Stacy, and they're down there. I think they live there now. And Max, let's just say Max has a lot of Bitcoin. I actually know how much Bitcoin he has. And let's just say it's a lot. It's a lot. And so he's down there. He loves Bitcoin. He hates anybody who has anything but Bitcoin. So sometimes he hates me, but that's okay. But I want you to play a video for Saifedean because he said that if you don't own Bitcoin, you should have fun staying poor. Now, Saifedean I think he's an Israeli guy, and I love these because he gives it to you straight. And here's him from a recent show he had with me, and I just want you to listen to what he had to say because he just reminds us that crypto solves so many problems that our fiat currency doesn't. So listen to what he had to say.
For me, the dollar is over. The fiat bargain broke down. Show me what you've done with your portfolio, with your bonds, with your stocks over the last 5 years, and how has it outperformed Bitcoin? Have fun staying poor. This is just a better technology for money. And your technology for money is a broken technology that is optimized for your government to steal from you. It's optimized for the government to be able to finance its operation. You start printing money to fix the consequences of money printing. This is the kind of mentality that you get into.
It takes maybe someone like you to step back and say, wait a second, maybe none of this is true. You wrote Bitcoin Standard in 18, way before COVID printing, way before inflation skyrocketing. You were calling this years before that.
If you don't want Bitcoin, if you don't agree with Bitcoin, if you don't like Bitcoin, yeah, continue to use your local government's scam money, continue to hold government bonds, continue to get wiped out, put your money in banks that go under, and enjoy poverty. If you look at it realistically, all currencies are in hyperinflation at slow motion. In the long run, Bitcoin is the short on all of those currencies. And you know that there's not going to be more than 21 million, and you know that nobody can make more of it, and you know nobody can take away your coins. So then that means you can go and live your life. Do a productive thing for society, spend less than you earn, save the rest in Bitcoin, and live your life.
All right, we like Saifedean. We feeling this guy? And somebody put in the chat that he's Lebanese. Maybe he is, same kind of thing. It's the region, right? It's the region. They just give it to you straight down there. I love it. Look, he just basically says, if you've got your money in fiat, it's just long-term inflationary. They're going to print more of it. How many people have most of their money in fiat? Come on, we just do, right? We live in a dollar world and a euro world and a pound sterling world. And, he's just saying, look, take a step back and look at this. That you're just getting jacked on a regular basis, right? The Bitcoin maxis say taxation is theft. How many people believe taxation is theft, right? Is money printing theft? Basically is, right? How imagine someone giving you something and they come back the next day and say, I'm going to take a little bit back. I'm going to take a little bit more back. I'm going to take a little bit. That's theft, isn't it? Right. So you've got that. You've got inflation, which is basically the same thing. It's theft. And it hurts the lowest income people the worst. It really does. So this is all happening. We need to be reminded that we're on the right page. And so I like talking to people like Saifedean, who's basically telling us which way to go. It's another great argument for Bitcoin. And I'm a big fan of Bitcoin, but I'm also a big fan of other currencies as well. And so my takeaways from Saifedean from that show are the following. Fiat currency is trash. Yes, it's going to be here for the next 10, 20 years. I believe it will be. But at that same time, you need to be diversifying into digital assets. You just have to be. And you have to have it because they could be shutting down your bank accounts at any point in time. Did anybody remember what happened in Canada with the Canadian truckers strike? Did you see what they did there? This is a G7 country that basically froze people's assets for showing up at a protest, which is supposedly their legal right. They suspended their crypto and their fiat accounts. If that can happen in Canada, it can happen in the US. It already does. All right. So again, it allows your government to steal from you. Bitcoin is the only sensible investment. I think Bitcoin is, and some other digital assets, but Bitcoin is the gold standard. And so I give him that. So that's my takeaway from him. Let me keep going because I want to get a couple more ideas in your head before I come to my conclusions. By the way, this is our 8-step trading checklist that we give my students inside our Crypto and DeFi Academy. We want to give you this for free tonight. Take a screenshot if you'd like. The biggest one I want you to look at is number 4. This is crucial. And I learned all of these when I was on Wall Street. I got there when I was 22 years old in 1993. I worked for a company called Bankers Trust. I was trading on their fixed income derivatives floor. It was like a floor of 300 people of just hardcore alpha males and females making millions of dollars each, all literally fighting with each other. I saw fights. I saw like, talk about emotional abuse. I mean, that happened hourly on that floor. But they also taught me how to trade. And I'm not talking about some book. I'm not talking about some professor at MIT that's never traded a day in his life. I'm talking about real hardcore traders. Ones that made it through the bear markets, ones that made it through the crises. They taught me how to trade. And rule number 4 is a really important one. I just want to highlight it before we go on. Rule number 4 is this. Once you have profit in a trade, never let it become a loss. Let me say that one more time. Once you have profit in a trade, never let it become a loss. What does that mean? Well, let's say you bought some Bitcoin back in the day, maybe back in 2020 or 2021, and say you bought it for 20,000 or 30,000, and you watched it go up. And you watched it go to 40,000 and 50,000 and 60,000 and 65,000, right? How many people watched their Bitcoin go up at the end of 21? Anybody here watch that? I'm sure you did. I'm sure there's some people here, right? Now, What did you do? Did you sell some and take profit? No, you didn't. Of course, most people didn't, because we were like, it's going to 100, right? And so what happens? You watch that go down. And here's the other thing you didn't do, right, Claude? When it went from 69 to 59, you should have known, come on, 10 grand, I got to stop out of this trade. You still would have made money from where you bought it, but you didn't. You watched it go down to 49,000. Then you watch it go down to 39,000. Then you watch it go down to 29,000. Every day you're waking up and saying, this could be the day it's going to go up, right? How many people have done this, by the way? Raise your hand. We all do this. It's a human thing. And then what happens? It bottoms out at 19, 18, 17,000. And you're thinking, what the hell? If I had just followed some discipline, I would have sold it, say 65 or 59,000. So what we teach in my academy is once you have a profit in that trade, you never let it become a loss, which means you put stop orders involved to where you can always make sure you take profit on a trade. If you can follow this one single rule, this alone will make you millions of dollars. It would have made a lot of you a lot of money if you had sold earlier in that run. And so we walk through all these disciplines inside our course, but I just wanted to kind of give you that for free. Let me take another idea in your head. This is Dan Tapiero. He's a macro guru. He believes that the Bitcoin and the entire market is going to a $10 trillion market cap. Dan's become a good friend, and he actually is starting, he runs $1 billion fund that invests in crypto infrastructure. He's invested in the biggest names in the business, including Ledger Nano. Does anyone own a Ledger cold wallet that you hold your crypto on? Yeah, Dan owns that company. Has anyone ever used an options exchange called Deribit? I teach my students options, by the way. He owns Deribit, right? Has anybody ever used a MetaMask wallet, a hot wallet? Yeah, you better have. He owns part of Consensus. Have you ever heard of the Bored Ape Yacht Club? Anyone heard of them? Yeah, that's Yuga Labs. He owns some of them. Have you ever heard of the hottest games in the world? He owns part of Animoca Brands. So like Dan's the OG, right? He's become a good friend, and he actually is raising a new $1 billion fund, and we're investing in it inside London Mill Ventures. We love Dan. He's actually going to be live on our emergency call on Monday at 8 p.m. If you want to show up and actually listen to the legend speak, I mean, this guy usually speaks at very, very important places. Speak to Martini. She might let you in. She might not. And he's going to come. But I wanted to also play with you the last time he came and spoke to us, because you got to listen to Dan. When Dan speaks, people listen. And by the way, he was doing trades with Bankers Trust back in the 90s when he worked for Tiger Capital Management. So again, I cross paths with all these people. It's really kind of weird how that happens. This is Dan recently on my show, him talking about how he invests in the market.
We're the only fund that focuses exclusively on blockchain and crypto business.
I still remember the conversation we had 17 months ago. You said, look, Brian, I'm not the guy that's going to get you 100x. I'm going to get you 10x, and I'm going to invest in companies with revenue. It was not what people wanted to hear when Bitcoin hit its high in November, but then fast forward 18 months, you're looking like one of the savviest investors out there.
We are investing at the growth stage. We're looking to invest in companies that are going to be able to withstand the bear phase. A company like Animoca made more revenue in 22 than in 21. Think about that for a second. You had a massive bear phase in the cryptocurrency markets, and here's a company that actually did better. Of the 26 investments, we only had one that was impaired. It was only 2.5% of total assets.
I think you had a term where you said under the hood, there's a lot going on. All of these things are growing and building. The price of Ethereum can stay the same, and they're still going to create hundreds of millions of dollars of value.
We try to pick established companies that are making big chunks of revenue because they have the flexibility to take that risk, add that business line, buy that small company that could be building the future.
You plan on just introducing synergies between all of those companies. You can create a ton of value for your portfolio companies.
We are going to be very focused on helping bring some of our companies to the public markets. 5 years from now, Coinbase is not going to be the only public crypto blockchain business in the world. 10 trillion is what I call would be the value of the digital asset ecosystem, which is the value of all the cryptocurrencies and all the equity in the space.
How we feel about Dan, right? We feeling him? This guy really knows what's going on, right? I love having these people around me, right? They can always remind me, yes, you're on the right track, Brian. You know exactly where you're going. Just stay the course. Stay the course. All the suckers are getting cleared out of this market, right? All the people are running to the hills, and they don't have the conviction. But guess what they say? To the victor belongs the spoils. If you punk out now and quit on crypto, you're going to miss the big win, right? How many people give up too soon, right? And then they miss the big win. And again, people like Dan have been in this space for a long time. You know, there was a point, I think in 21, Martini, when like 8 episodes in a row of London Real were with billionaires. They were all with billionaires. Sandeep from Polygon, all these people, Justin Sun, all these people, billionaire. I was getting sick of billionaires. And they all got that rich because what, Martini? Back in 2018, when there was a real crypto winter. You think this is a winter? This is nothing. Back in 18, if you worked in crypto, your mom would say, oh, you're in that scam business, right? That's what crypto was known for. Does that make sense to everybody? It was total scam. That's what people thought. Oh, you're a scammer. And you have people with like good degrees and good jobs. So and they kept building. So how were they rewarded 3 years later? With billions of dollars. The same thing's going to happen here, folks. The people that stick through this market, and we've been there the whole way, when this pops, and that could be as early as April of next year, then bam, it's all going to belong to us because we're going to be there. And then guess what? All the fair weather friends are going to come in. All the quick buck artists come with every bull market are going to come in. Hey, yeah, I'm Mr. Crypto. I'm the crypto influencer. People know, and that's going to be us, and we're going to be cleaning up. So we're positioning ourselves right now, and that's crucial to what we're doing. My takeaways from Dan are the following, and then I want to share one last piece. So I love talking about these things. I get all excited. So my takeaways from Dan are this. Animoca made more money in 22 than 21. Think about that, right? It's a $4 billion, basically, VC fund that invests in gaming companies. 22 was supposed to be a crypto bear market. They made more cash flow in 22 than 21. What does that mean? That means their fundamental businesses are actually doing well. Okay, the asset price was marked down, but the fundamental business is doing well. Does that make sense to everybody? Just think about that. Again, this is stuff that Dan sees. Meanwhile, everyone's like, oh, in the headlines, crypto's this and crypto that. Yeah, don't listen to the mainstream media. We all know that. Digital assets will go from 1 trillion to 10 trillion. Dan's going to make you 10x on your money. He's not promising 100x. He's investing in solid infrastructure companies. Each one of those businesses, by the way, has more than 50 million in revenue. So these are established businesses. He loves that, and it's a sector that he owns. Last thing is crypto adoption is inevitable. It's inevitable. It's not a if, it's just inevitable, and that's crucial. All right, I got to show one more. All right, I got to show you one more before I let you go because this is hot. This is Yatsu. How many people know Yatsu? He's the chairman of Animoca Brands. All right, if you don't know who this guy is, you should have a picture of him on your wall in your bedroom. All right, he's that OG. Okay, he's the chairman of Animoca Brands, $4 billion fund, invests, I think, in now 600 different companies. He came on my show recently. He's become a good friend. By the way, our latest, hottest deal is basically an Animoca deal that we're getting our people into right now. We're literally pumping hundreds of thousands in this deal right now. We couldn't be more excited about it. Yak came on recently and talked about, first of all, how artificial intelligence is going to revolutionize Web3. And then ultimately, it's going to build $1 trillion metaverse market. Like that's what's going to happen in metaverse alone. Yat is a gamer. He's been building games for 20 years. And again, he is the most important guy when it comes to the metaverse. By the way, he's a proponent of the open metaverse. He does not like what Facebook is doing. He doesn't think you should have a closed metaverse. Anybody agree? Anybody want to keep the metaverse out of the Silicon Valley companies? You're damn right you do. So here's Yat. Listen to what he said. Again, I'm a massive fan of Yat. I was texting him the other day about this deal, and he's just, yeah, I mean, again, you know, if Yat's in on something, I'm in on something, basically. So this is Yat. He was here recently, and this is what he said.
Why would you exist in a Web2 paradigm where you're making literally pennies on the dollar when you should be receiving your fair share of value, which is what's happening in Web3? So that is the meaning of the open universe. And if you're not in it, then I think you're really sort of not seeing where the future is, because virtual work, I think, is the future anyway.
It's not a new thing. This is just us, but now represented digitally, and it's only going one way.
Where are we spending our time? We're spending our time digitally. Owning our data, owning the derivative of our data is so critical, and people don't understand that, especially in this age of AI. Because after all, AI lives off our data. We are feeding the AI. You wouldn't have ChatGPT or self-driving cars if it wasn't for our data. And how much are we getting paid for it? Big fat zero.
You're giving away your data and someone's selling it back to you.
That trade of that data commodity has always been locked until today.
One of the things we aren't taught in school is we're not taught about money.
No, not at all.
And
it's a scandal, if you ask me. I think it's scandalous. When you onboard any person from Web 2 to Web 3, you're not just opening a wallet for them. The effective onboarding comes with financial education. That's the part that has been missing. If now billions of people have similar knowledge about financial systems, that to me becomes the antidote for financial abuse.
Do you think the fight for digital property rights is the most important fight of the human species?
What we're building is bigger than us. If you don't have property rights, you can't have freedom. If you can't have the ownership of it, then you can't predict the future for it. If you can see your future, then you can build towards it. And you're naturally optimistic. If you can't see your future, that's, I think, where trouble begins.
Come on. I could listen to Yat for days. Come on, we feeling yet? Martina, I could just listen to that on repeat. I don't know. Look, I spent a lot of time with this guy in person, shared a lot of space with him, and the energy is there, right? This guy works tirelessly. I mean, tirelessly. I saw him in Paris. Then I saw him in Texas. And he said, Brian, he's like, I got 40 more days on the road and then I'm going home to my family in Hong Kong. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm going to Rio. I'm going to this. I'm saying, why are you doing this? He said, look, Brian, he said, most of the world knows crypto from what? FTX. He said, someone needs to get out there and explain to these people that there's much, much more going on besides this ridiculous scandal we saw last year. And so we've just decided that we have to get out there and put our voices out there and really explain to people what this is about. This is about freedom. Because if you don't own your digital assets, you have no freedom going forward. Think about this, folks. And your digital asset could be your digital money. It could be your identity, could be your browsing history, could be your medical history. If you don't own these things, someone else owns them, right? The reason I got censored in 2020 is because YouTube owned my videos. They owned the platform. So guess what? When they said, be quiet, they could silence me, or they tried at least. Okay. We fought back, but we had to own our own platform to do it. And it took all of you, London Real Army, to help us do that. The movie's out soon, by the way. And so we're doing this, right? And so this is so important. And that's why I feel like a kindred spirit with Yat, because he really believes fundamentally you have to own digital property, including all the things that you create in a game, all of your NFTs, everything should be yours to take away with you. And by doing so, you're actually going to create this beautiful economy. You're going to create freedom and this beautiful future. Now, if you don't do that and allow Zuckerberg to control that metaverse, it's going to be all done through that frame. And everything you think you own is going to be taken away from you and then sold back to you, and will be what they call digital colonialism. Does that make sense to everyone here a little bit? If it's going over your head, that's cool. You can go watch Yat's interviews on our website. They're free, LondonReal.tv. But my takeaways from Yat are important. The reason I bring Yat in here is because he's the metaverse expert. And as Petty knows, we're putting a lot of money in these deals right now. And we really like what we're seeing, because we're seeing what I think will become our future reality. This deal we're doing right now, Petya, I think this will be like our future reality. This is how a lot of us will interact with each other and learn and transform, including my sons. And I'm okay with that because I like what they're building. So takeaways from Yat: Web3 gives us our freedoms back. I'm a huge fan of freedom. The metaverse is the future. What are we in right now, folks? Look at this. What is this? What is this? I'm digitally hanging out with Claude and Mike and Petya and Martini. I haven't actually ever touched or hugged Petya yet. I met Martini, once Martini we met, right? But I know these people. These are my family, right? And so we're in a metaverse now, folks, right? So it is the future, and a better version will be the way we all connect. I've met the coolest people in the world via digital means. I mean, look, people talk rubbish about social media all the time. Me too. But let's be honest, it's also connected all of us together as a London Real family. And as one of my guests, Wes Watson, said, he said, Brian, I meet all of my friends on social media because that's how I know they're vibing with me. So it's true. So the metaverse is the future. And finally, crypto will empower the AI economy. We've been making a bunch of bets in AI, so we feel that. So look, I just want to finish with a couple of points. How do you create that generational wealth via crypto and the blockchain? Well, folks, ultimately, you have to pull the trigger if you want to do it. And that's just me being honest with you. You know, you're not going to listen to a podcast or buy a book and change your game. You're going to have to literally pull the trigger and do something. And, you know, that's what we're doing behind the scenes. And so 2 years ago, we literally pulled the trigger and I invested in this guy. This is Samuel Chalagu. He's the founder of Cross the Ages, which is currently the hottest blockchain gaming company in the world. They're literally dominating the App Store. This is my interview I did with him on London Real. They are selling like millions of dollars in NFTs. They got further investment from Animoca and from Ubisoft after Sammy was on my show. And we're expecting a 10x pop on this token, and then it's going to go even higher this year. And so we have a track record of success in this industry because we understand blockchain. We understand the protocols, the wallets, the tokens, the DeFi protocols. We teach this to our students, and that way we can make money. You can't make money off this if you have no education or financial education or blockchain education. So again, this is crucial if you want to be involved in this deal flow. And we literally saw this incredible deal 2 nights ago, it was now, that's, I think, going to make a lot of money for my people inside our investment club. So again, this is another deal. It's called Orange Comet. This is Dave Broom, the CEO. They are one of the most exciting Web3 gaming and entertainment companies out there. They're revolutionizing the metaverse. They're doing all of these incredible things with some of the biggest Hollywood actors and Hollywood franchises on the planet. This is Eric Poulier. He's the CEO of Vatom. They're building metaverses for the corporate world. They've built metaverses for Google, for Slack, for Pepsi, for Frito-Lay. It's amazing what they're doing, and we love their platform as well. This is Jason Ma. He's actually going to be in the studio on Monday. This is Open, the hottest new Web3 super app, and he's basically combining Amazon meets WhatsApp, and it's for artists and creators. He's going to take this to the next level. Jason's an OG. He's been investing in early stage investments like back in the day, 15 years ago. And now he bridges East and West. He's signed some of the biggest hip hop acts. He has one of the biggest streaming channels out there. And now he's creating a Web3 super app where there's no YouTube involved, right? There's no middleman that's going to cut out everything and try to censor us and take out 50% of the revenues. And we're actually closing this deal like literally as we speak. This is the $1 billion fund we're investing in. You can kind of guess who that is, I think, at this point. Digital asset ecosystem. If you've been paying attention, you can guess. You might be able to meet the guy on Monday if you want to come to our emergency call starting at 7:15 UK time. This is our OpenAI killer that we're investing in, about $1 million into what we think will basically dominate and beat ChatGPT. And of course, this is our latest deal. It's called Life Beyond, and it's our token deal. This deal will be closed by the weekend. Monday latest, and it's where our investment club members are putting money into an Animoca-backed company that we think will dominate the metaverse over the next few years. It's incredible what they're doing. It's incredible how they're launching. It's just been thought through in so many ways, shapes, or forms that we just think this is the hottest thing we've seen in years. I'm also very conservative. I'm very unimpressed by most things, and this got my attention. So you're going to watch a lot of us create this, make money. The CEO will be in the studio in 2 weeks as well. And so I'm just going to tell you now, if you're not getting in on this investment, you're going to kick yourself later, and you're going to watch all of us do it as well. So this is what we're doing behind the scenes. And it's all based on this thesis, folks. I believe the greatest way to predict the future is to create it. It's that simple. Does anybody agree with that? Is anybody with me? Am I with a bunch of people that want to empower themselves, or am I with a bunch of victims out there? Maybe you think the greatest way to predict the future is to wait for your government to do it for you. Nah, that ain't going to work, right? Maybe you think someone else is going to pay for your bills. That ain't going to work. You have to take responsibility, and that's what we do. And so I believe in order to successfully invest long-term, you need 3 things: education, mentorship, and community. I've been doing this for a long time, folks. Again, we have actually graduated over 5,000 students in our entire academy. You need these 3 things. And if you don't have these 3, it will not work. That's what you need: education, mentorship, and community. And that's what we provide. That's why I created our crypto and DeFi accelerator. It's a 4-week boot camp that takes you from knowing nothing, or maybe you bought Bitcoin before, or maybe you know something about crypto, and we get you completely educated. You'll know more than 99% of the people at the crypto conferences I go to. And this is true. We do it in 4 weeks by taking massive action. And I'll tell you how we do it, because I personally teach these courses. It's 4 weeks, 4 modules. It's invitation only based on an application that takes you 60 seconds. And it's your chance to be part of the greatest dislocation of wealth in human history. It's 8 hours of live calls by me personally. I'm there. You get access to our online e-learning platform with like 25 different videos explaining everything. You get a triple tiered accountability system, which makes sure you show up and do the work. Trust me, you will be doing the work. That's the only way to learn. We have dedicated coaches, team leaders, and community managers working with you every single day. We've got a private group for posting assignments and videos. We have a crazy track record. I mean, again, Martini, we were on the call last night, finishing up the last course, and like Team Rose was just like glowing testimonials, and just like they couldn't say enough about how far. And these people have been trying on their own for years. Has anybody here, raise your hand if you've been trying to learn this stuff on your own out there on Twitter and with these YouTube videos, right? It's really hard. It's a bunch of anonymous people. You go to these Telegram groups, they're just shilling coins. It's all gross, right? Nobody seems to know what they're talking about. Everyone's talking about meme coins and all this BS. That's not how we roll here. We have a 10-year horizon, and we are going to get wealthy doing this, period. That's what we're going to do here. And I bring all of my financial background alongside of it. And so you can apply to join us right now at LondonVille.tv/crypto. Julian just rang the gong to somebody that actually applied earlier in the day. I read their application. We approved them, and they bought because they know this is the way to do it. And they know we have all the subsequent programs once they graduate the 4-week course. We've got the Kings of DeFi advanced course. We have the investment club where you can literally invest alongside of us. And so this is the syllabus really quickly. Week 1, I get you the history of crypto. You will literally read the Bitcoin white paper. Why? Because I think that gives you a fundamental boost of confidence. I'm not expecting you to understand it, but I want you to read it so you can look at someone in the eye and say, yeah, I read the paper. Don't try to confuse me. Don't try to run game on me. You read the paper. I talk about Ethereum creation, stablecoin creation, a bunch of the spikes and crashes, and I walk you all the way up to present day. Week 2, we get busy, folks. We're buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, stablecoins. You're setting up centralized exchanges. You're actually getting hot wallets and cold wallets, and you're executing your very first decentralized trade on Uniswap. Like, this is no joke, folks. Like, this will literally get you educated by fire. Will it be challenging? Yes. Will you do it? Yes, you will. And you'll have a community of people that will be with you along every step of the way. But week 3, we go heavier into DeFi. I teach you about yield swapping. I teach you about liquidity pools, and you're actually going to buy an option on Ethereum or Bitcoin. I do this because this is my background, right? I traded in finance for 15 years. I understand derivatives. Derivatives aren't bad. They're a way of managing risk. And I'm going to get you involved in this to where you can do anything when you're done with this course. By the way, the deal that we funded 2 days ago, you needed to know how this worked, or you would have never figured out how to get your stable coins into your hot wallet, into the DeFi protocol, right? We teach this stuff because you're going to use it when we start making a lot of money. And week 4, I show you how to profit by trading. Okay, this is crucial. I show you how to manage risk. I show you how to place asymmetric trades, manage your portfolio, stop loss orders, my 10-coin rule, my 30-day watch list, and my first system. This really shows you how to do it and do it properly and not do all those bad decisions when it comes to trading. This is what we do. I teach this remotely. I teach it live. Again, graduates from all over the world. Everyone loves this course. And so this is your chance. You can be part of the greatest dislocation of wealth in human history. Apply now. And I'd love to get you in on this course. Our next course, we literally start, I think, next week on this next course. So you can jump right in and you can be ready. Okay, but don't wait on this, because when Bitcoin pops, you have to understand these fundamentals. And by the way, I throw in a few special bonuses because you guys are all here. If you join or apply tonight and we can see your applications, I'll give you a special bonus. This is a private event I did with Dan Pena, the $1 trillion man himself, at the Ritz in London. This is a 2-hour video of Dan yelling at you, trying to get you to step up your game and create generational wealth. I believe you deserve it. So does Dan. And so I apologize in advance if he offends you. But I don't apologize if he makes you millions of dollars. All right. So this is my free gift to you. Next, I'm going to give you module 1 of our Kings of DeFi. This is our advanced crypto trading program. And I'm going to teach you how to trade like the Terminator using my 1% rule, show you how to lock in profits and start making money with your crypto. I'm also going to give you module 1 of our investment club. This is my small group of people. It's not small anymore. 75 people that are making millions and millions of dollars behind the scenes with us. All right. Then I'm going to teach you what is a crypto token presale, how you can directly invest in these companies via SAFT, which is exactly what we're doing with this Animoca deal called Life Beyond. Folks, this is exciting times. All this I'm going to give you for free. I just want to say one thing before you apply, because this might not be for you. This is not for crypto day traders. Anybody a day trader in crypto here? Raise your hand. If you're poor, please go somewhere else. Okay. That's just a recipe for disaster. It's not for people looking to get rich quick. All right. Please go somewhere else. Somebody else will sell you that course. I'm not going to. I don't know anybody that got rich quick. Right. We do it the old fashioned way. All right. We make big money, but it takes a little bit of time. And that's how you keep it. Also, if you're into meme coins and if you're one of those, people that like to go on the chats, go somewhere else. We like people that pull the trigger and take action. If you're a blockchain fanboy or a crypto academic, again, this is not where you belong. I don't care if you can explain for me what a hash is. I don't care if you can explain to me what an algorithmic stablecoin. Can you put a position on and pull the trigger and make money? That's what we're doing inside this course. And so, again, this is some of our students here. that just love this course. And like, I always like showing like a little bit of like what some of the people say kind of about our course. And so these are some people that have graduated various courses inside of our academy. And again, this is just some of the things they have to say about what it's like to be in on the inside.
It's been overwhelmingly positive. I was really surprised by how much depth Brian and his team have put into this course.
It jolted me, and perhaps is what I needed to be pushed out of my comfort zone and to face my resistance in a lot of areas in my life.
What Brian and the team produced is something special, and I'm so grateful and blessed to be a part of this journey right now.
I have learned a lot about myself, about my poor mindset, about my poor habits, about money. Nothing that I've learned here, any school or university ever teach me.
It's really pushed me. It's pushed me above and beyond what even I thought was possible. I've done a few business courses in the past, but nothing can compare to the Wealth Academy.
It has been life-changing. It's a spiritual journey, a hero's journey. This marks a turning point in my life.
It looked to me being so wide, covering so many topics, that it was just going to be like an intro course for all other programs. And boy, was I wrong.
Here you have to face your fears, dig deep within with honesty and vulnerability. Jump in the void, take action without excuses, and all aiming for the same purpose of finally changing the world to make it a place of freedom, empowerment, respect, success, wealth, and health. This is priceless.
Very grateful for everyone I've met on the course. I love you guys. This will be forever etched in my memory. It's a beautiful experience, and I would recommend this to anyone.
Lean in, face your fears, face your resistance, support your teammates. My biggest takeaway from this course was knowing that I could make an impact.
And this is by far one of the best, most well laid out and thought through courses, plus the depth of the material is just one of a kind.
So I thank you all ever so much. You're all incredible. The family is amazing. Brian is super awesome. The Wealth Academy staff and team are just so helpful and incredible.
It's worth the investment. Come with us, grow and thrive and challenge yourself, and let's build this new world together.
I recommend to everybody to start this course. Don't have any doubts, just trust the process. It's really life-changing.
Wow. Damn, that's pretty crazy, huh, Martini? Right? It's amazing. I love seeing that. Yes, we have so many amazing people, and they become really connected. They become part of the community. And like Petya is here. She's in our investment club, and like our investment club members now have been together for 18 months. And so we only have another 8.5 years left, right? And then we'll probably keep going. So look, that's just some of the people that really enjoy it. We love what we do here. It's like a family, and we like really creating wealth for people, helping them change. And so look, it's your chance to join us. LondonReal.tv/crypto. I think we start next week. I will read your application personally. And I'm telling you, now is the time to really get up the curve on this. If you're interested in learning more about this course, or perhaps our investment club, where you can get in on this latest super hot token sale. But if you want to do that, you have to be fast. Book a call with Martini. These are her various details. You can message her. You can send her a message on Messenger. Book a call via the website, or you can actually email her. She can help you, but please, she's really busy right now, especially with Investment Club. So if you are interested in talking to her, make sure that you are serious about joining. That's all. Don't waste your time. We've all made that mistake once, only once. All right. So seriously, tell her and make sure you're serious about doing something now, because otherwise she just doesn't have the time right now. She's so busy because all of our courses are in high demand. Folks, by the way, we have a full wealth journey inside of our academy. We've got something called the Wealth Accelerator that helps you with the mindset of money. We've got the Crypto and DeFi Accelerator, which is what I was talking about today. We've got our Kings of DeFi, which is our advanced blockchain course, where we teach you about the metaverse, you mint NFTs, crypto chart reading, advanced options trading. We show you how to run a fund, how to become a social crypto influencer. And then, of course, the Investment Club. That's where literally you're investing alongside of us into the hottest companies on the planet. And my pledge to those people is to create all of them $10 billion of wealth over the next 10 years. And just watch us, because we're going to do it. So there it is. Back to what is your why, folks. If this is important to you, if you really have someone in your life that you want to create generational wealth for, by the way, raise your hand if you've got some people that you're looking out for, your community, your children, maybe your grandchildren, maybe relatives, maybe somebody. If you do, if you have a strong enough why, anyhow is possible. So if you really care about them, you can find a way to join us on this journey, right? But if you don't, well, then there's no reason that'll make you do it. Is it going to be hard? Yes. Is it going to be challenging? Yes. But we're going to get you through, and you're going to become an incredible person on the other side, super strong, super smart, and you're going to be alongside people that are absolutely crushing it. The communities are amazing. And so again, I'd love to answer some questions right now. I really appreciate everybody being here. Was that helpful for anybody here? Did you get some good info out of that? All right, great. Look, while we've got Martini here, we might as well take advantage of it because I'm sure she's going back on to do like 4 more or 10 more calls tonight. So let me just pass it to Martini. She can talk to you about next steps.
Awesome. Awesome. So this is always another way to end a Rockin' Friday, Brian. So good to have everybody here. And thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend with us. And hopefully you were able to pick up some gems. You know, one thing that I love about Brian, he's always giving us stuff hot off the press and always dropping the gems. And what I really love, Brian, is that you are always here to empower your community, you know, more than anything, because as we know with the education system, we have not been taught about finances. We have not been taught about how to manage money, how to use it, and really just how to prosper with it. And so what we do with the Academy, the London Real Academy, as a whole, you know, we are all about transformation. And a lot of that right now is based on finances, because finances is really going to be the key, I think. And within 10 years, guys, this world is going to be a world that we do not even comprehend. And the question is, are you prepared? That's the simple question. Are you prepared for what's to come? And, you know, I have found, you know, in this journey with being with crypto and with DeFi and being with people from all over the world who are taking their finances back, I'm starting to see that the lack of education and the lack of mentorship and the lack of being plugged in is really going to leave people in a very vulnerable position if they're not already in it. And we can see what happened a couple of years ago with the truckers. You know, they wanted to use their voices and their finances were immediately shut down. Think about it. When people want to shut you down, the first thing they go to is your money. So with that, I believe that as we continue to go on and as this world changes, the people who are plugged in, the people who know, and the people who have sovereignty over their finances are going to be the ones who are going to make it through. So please, guys, whatever it is that you got to do to join us and to learn and to get plugged in and to really take your finances back, please go ahead and do it. Because like I said, this world is changing beyond our comprehension. And our finances are going to be the things, I believe, that are really going to support us in maintaining, moving forward, and really just making it through all of this. So if you want to be prepared for things that are to come, I definitely believe that DeFi is the way, and we are definitely giving financial freedom back to the people. And that's the way it should be anyway, right? So for those of you who are wanting to join us in the Crypto and DeFi Academy, and you just want to know everything that we're going to support you with, I put some links inside of the chat here. The first one is going to be for you guys to take a look at the Crypto and DeFi Academy course. And no, week by week, it's a 4-week course that's really going to walk you through step by step on how we can best support you. So, you know, from learning the basics of the history of crypto and how this all got started, to setting up your wallets, to learning how there are different ways in which you can earn some money, you know, through crypto, as well as learning some of Brian's personal disciplines from his experience on how you continue to grow your money and not make emotional decisions and lose your money, right? So we're all about the growth here. So also for those of you who are very new to all of this and don't really know, you know, what's going on, that's even perfect, because we're here to support you. You got to learn these things, right? So we have an accountability system where we have coaches who are there to support you, as well as a team of people who are going to be there to support you every single step of the way. So if this is new to you, please do not be intimidated. You are here to learn, and you've got all the mentorship that you need that's going to be with you every step of the way. So after you've taken a look at the Crypto and DeFi Academy course page, if you do have any follow-up questions, please go ahead and book a call with me. And as Brian said, I only want to speak to people who are serious. So if you know that you are wanting to opt in, but you just got to get some questions answered or just need a little bit more support, I'm here to support you. But if you are someone who's just, kicking around and just wanting to play busy, I don't have time for that, to be honest. Okay, so book a call with me only if you are serious. Now, for those of you, I know that we are spread out all throughout the land. So if you do not see a time that is on my schedule that within your time zone, that's okay. Just send me a message on Facebook Messenger, or you can always send me an email. Just let me know who you are, where you're from, and what time is most available for you. And I will go ahead and do my best to accommodate. Okay. You guys are very important to us. And we want to make sure, as we've been saying, we want to give financial freedom back to the people. The world is changing, and we have got to be prepared the best way possible. So let us support you on that journey. All right, guys, we start on Monday. We can't wait to see you on the inside. And back to you, Brian.
All right, give it up for Martini, right? Rocking it strong. Thank you, Martini. Appreciate everything you're doing. She's working crazy over there, making things happen. So thank you so much. Again, she's the one that's the gatekeeper for everything, especially something like Investment Club. Like, you really have to talk to her about something like that. Look, the Crypto and DeFi Academy is a no-brainer. You're going to love it. We've got a whole history of graduates and an alumni base that can help you afterwards. Actually, during the course, we bring back our alumni, and they tell you what they're doing 18 months later, 12 months later, how they're crushing it, how they're investing, how they're making money. It's just amazing. We actually hired one of our graduates from 2 years ago recently as a principal here at London Real Ventures. So it's just kind of fascinating how it all evolves. Look, some great questions and comments. Some people are really up on this stuff. Some people are concerned. Some people are surprised that traditional finance is going into crypto. But a lot of people are also saying that they kind of feel like they're a little lacking in education. And again, why would you expect to understand this stuff? It was never taught to you. And it's really hard to learn things online because it's crypto this and that, and everyone's trying to get you to buy a coin. I actually encourage you not to buy coins during this course. During this course, it's about education. Don't worry about chasing profits. And that's the problem with the crypto industry. They try to freak you out with headlines and get you to buy and sell coins you don't need. I want to get you to the fundamentals so you can make money long-term, and that's what we're doing. So like I said, I'll read your application. Click it, apply. We start next week. Love to see you on the inside. And Investment Club, if you really want to make that big money, talk to Martini about that. Just want to say thank you to everybody. I hope you have a beautiful weekend, and just stay alert, stay awake, stay plugged in, get your freedoms, get your finances, and there you go. All right. Big love, everybody. Thank you so much. All right. Bless.